friends, and welcome to another episode of Dark Side of the Word, a podcast for all the dark story lovers. My name is Kait, and I am here with my big-hearted co-host, CJ.
Oh, I'm going to try and do it.
Well, it looks like a heart to me.
Apparently not to my computer, because it's still not doing the little heart thing. Oh my god. Seriously? Seriously? What the fuck? How is it that you can do that? And I painstakingly try and form a heart. And I think I just have a sandwich shape in my hand. Well, now you're just showing off. Okay. Hello, everybody.
She hates me so much for that. I'm sorry. Let me have one thing. One nice thing.
It's okay. It's all right.
Friends, we are here to content recap.
It's a bunch of recrap. No.
Seriously. We are here to recap our content for the past 30 days. So we watched all the shit so you don't have to.
I watched most of the shit. Okay, only a little bit of shit.
Like Irish Wish. Even if you're a Lindsay Lohan fan.
I mean, I could have told you that. You didn't need to actually watch it to determine that.
It was Ireland, so I was literally there just for the backdrop.
You should just put it on mute and have the scenery in the background.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I was here for. It wasn't the men. It wasn't the story. It was for Ireland. But yes, so we were going to talk about books, movies, TV shows. I think CJ's adding a new segment of podcasts.
Yes, I'm going to talk about some podcast recommendations.
But as usual, we are going to start with books, and that means that CJ's going to go first, as usual, because I am a creature of habit.
Yes.
And she should know this by now.
You
go first.
I'm prepared, not to worry.
It's like every time we record, she sits here and she's like, what episode are we recording first? I'm like, we haven't done this for like over a year. You don't know this stuff?
Okay, so I'm also that person who will go to the movies in the movie theater and, you know, we'll be sitting there and the lights will dim and the previews will happen and then the movie will be about to start and I'll be like, what movie are we watching again? Every single time. My friends would start telling me the movie before I could ask because they just knew that was going to come. They'd be like, we're here to see blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, okay. And I get excited again. Yeah.
Wow. That is special.
I mean, I am a little blonde, you know? So there you go. It's fake blonde, but sometimes it's... It sinks in, and it hurts things.
Sneeze, I didn't want to have it on the video.
I didn't know if we were playing charades, if you were make blonde comments, because they're faux pas now. Like, I didn't know what was going to happen.
Sorry, I had to sneeze so bad, and I wanted to be able to cut it.
I just froze. Anytime you do something, I just freeze, like a deer in headlights.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, ready?
I so wish we
to start talking about your books.
Okay. So,
we're not keeping that in. I cut your shit out.
You did. Thank you, by the way. Thank you. Okay, no sneezing.
All right, you start with your books.
Okay. All right, so I have 2 books to talk about today. One is spooky and one is very much not spooky. So we will start with the spooky book, and it is called The Stroke of Winter by Wendy Webb. Wendy Webb is one of my favorite spooky book authors. She writes a lot of Northern Gothic cozy horror.
What?
She's called the Queen of Northern Gothic.
Oh my god, this
horror.
How do I not know about this?
I don't know because she is fantastic. So all of her stories are set on Lake Superior, I think it is. It's like up in Minnesota or Wisconsin, somewhere cold. And she writes really good supernatural horror, like actual ghosts, but she makes everything super cozy at the same time. Like ghosts are literally pouring from the walls in one of her books. But you totally want to stay at this haunted house because it's a beautiful old house and there's a housekeeper who cooks you delicious meals and there's a roaring fire to sit by with some tea. And you're usually spending your days writing or creating art or renovating a house. And everything seems perfect except for the insanely intense haunting. It's fantastic. Absolutely.
I'm not being rude. I need the title again. I'm on Goodreads.
Oh, The Stroke of Winter by Wendy Webb.
Okay, continue.
Okay, so in The Stroke of Winter, a woman starts to renovate her family's home into a B&B. And when she opens up a wing of the house that's been sealed off forever, which actually was her famous artist grandfather's art studio, she finds some never-before-seen paintings that are pretty dark and disturbing, and of course it unleashes some kind of dark spirit that haunts her dreams and her waking moments. And I loved every single moment of this book. It's soothing to read, but it's also scary at the same time. There is good suspense, good characters, good creepy factors, and when the main character is not being very haunted, She's making delicious sounding meals because she's a chef. She's playing with her new dog friend. She's going out into the town and doing cute, fun winter activities. And she's exploring a budding romance with a handsome single handyman in town. So it's very nice. Very nice.
I've read her.
Have you? Did you not
I
like
read,
her? Uh-oh, we
I read The Vanishing.
The Vanishing. Oh, did I forget? I like that. It has a house on the cover.
Yes, recently widowed and rendered penniless by her Ponzi scheming husband, Julia Bishop is eager to start anew.
Yeah, you sound let down. Would you give it?
3 stars.
Okay,
but that was also 8 years ago.
that's true.
So she could be different now.
Yeah, she's written a lot of books over the years. In the past few years, I didn't love her books. I liked them, but they were a little bit more. I don't even know the word. I just wasn't getting into them. But this one, The Stroke of Winter, reminds me of her earlier ones.
The cover is gorgeous.
Yeah, the cover is absolutely gorgeous. The Stroke of Winter reminds me of her earlier ones that I absolutely love. The Fate of Mercy Albin was really good. The Tale of Halcyon Crane is really good. I liked The Vanishing. That was the first one I read by her. The End of Temperance Dare. That is fantastic. And it's kind of referenced in The Stroke of Winter, because a lot of her books kind of take place in the same universe, I guess, in the same area. So there's little Easter eggs between the books as she continues to write. So if you're looking for cozy horror with a little bit of chaste romance, check this out. It's fantastic. I loved it.
I really want to get into cozy horror more. I got, what is it, a Darcy Coates?
Oh, yeah, she's good. I like her. Which one?
I'm staring at my bookshelf. Oh.
Isn't your bookshelf behind you?
I have one over here, too.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Of the books that aren't pretty. Keep talking.
All
I will
books
go
are
look.
pretty. Don't hurt their
I'm
feelings.
going to go grab it. Keep talking.
Okay, I will keep talking. Okay, so the second book is a complete deviation from the first. Well, this one's very cozy, but not at all scary. It is called Mrs. Quinn's Rise to Fame. And
Yes! We talked about this one.
yes, it's by Olivia something or other. I don't remember her last name. I won't say too much about this one on here because I am going to review it on the blog and make a kick-ass book-inspired recipe for it. I'm super excited for that. I mentioned it in the previous podcast episode. It is a book where a 77-year-old woman decides to apply to go on a version of the Great British Baking Show or Bake Off, whichever version you're watching in whatever country. And she makes it on and surprises everybody and herself with how much she can do. And if you love watching the Great British Baking Show, you should read this book. It is a love letter to that show. You will love it immediately. It is touching, it's inspiring, it's funny and sweet and poignant, and it will make you so hungry for every single kind of pastry that there is. Yeah.
I can't read it then.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. You get so many ideas. And the beginning of the book takes place at Christmas, so you have like Christmas feels and Christmas baking, and then it goes on to the rest of the year. But it's just so good. It's a really good feel-good read. And I love that it featured a late-in-life heroine because you don't really see that too much. And there is a bit of a backstory. You see the current point of view, like what's happening with the baking show, and then she's also thinking about a big secret that happened in her past, which I didn't love as much, but it kind of works together in the end. But you're really there for the baking stuff. So, Mrs. Quinn's Rise to Fame, read it if you're looking for cozy foodie fiction and a good heartwarming story with all the feels.
I'm a little bored by the great secret in the past.
I am too.
The great reveal. It's been overdone. Thrillers really use it.
Yeah.
Just write the book. Why can't we just have the story you're telling now? I mean, did it play a lot into the plot?
It
Whatever
did,
happened?
but I feel as though the story, the whole novel could have existed without that whole story. You didn't need it. It tied in at the end, but only because she made it, and it worked. But I would have been happy reading about the ups and downs with the baking and her relationship with her husband, which is just like the sweetest relationship ever. Her husband, Bernard, I guess they call him Bernard in England. They go, by that with the accent. It's just the sweetest man. Everybody needs a Bernard in their life. And thankfully, I do have one. Mr. Tart is a Bernard. So, but it is just the sweetest little love story. And you just want to hug these two. They're so great together.
Offline, I want to ask you a question about that book. So
okay.
Help me remember our
elder
brains. All right, I found the book.
Shot.
This is the one.
Oh, I read that one.
Okay, this is the one I grabbed.
I forget if I liked it or not.
We'll see. I don't know.
I will look it up on Goodreads while you talk about your books, and we'll let you know if I like that.
Yeah, I don't know when we get to it, but I will probably post a review on BookTube about it. But I have an entire bookshelf of books I haven't read yet, and I keep going to the library.
I do that all the time. Because
We're
it's
book
exciting.
dragons.
It's exciting to go to the library. I don't even go to look at the library. I get holds in from the library. And every day it comes in, it's like Christmas.
Yeah. And we just had our really big book sale here in the city, so...
See, I don't even like to do those anymore because it's still not as exciting as the library pickup.
Oh, no. Mine is. I found a whole collection of, like, Buffy books. I think I got 10 total Buffy books.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
So, yeah. Anyway, I have a couple of books to talk about.
Wait a minute. I gave this 5 stars, The Carrow Haunt. 5? I'm quite
Maybe
shocked.
I won't wait. I mean... Okay.
Yeah, I really liked it, apparently. I don't remember too much, but I really liked it. Good for me
Well, I'm gonna have to find it. Okay. Though my biggest find at the book sale, I have to humble brag for a hot second. I found like a 1980s cover of Dune. 90s. Anyway, and then I went the second day to the sale and I found the second book in the same edition. So now they match. And it's the edition I really, really wanted. And I got the second book for 25 cents.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's literally the edition I want for the first 3 books. So I am so happy right now.
Nice.
Like, something told me to go the second day. I wasn't going to. And something told me. And I'm so glad I did.
I've gone multiple days. It's fun. You never know what you're going to find. It's an adventure every time.
It's a lot. But, all right, so I have 2 books to talk about, and then an honorable mention for both The Sins of Their Bones and In the Lines of Puppets. Those are both YouTubes on this page, so if you're watching us on YouTube, just go down to the book review section. I have both of those on there as book reviews so that you can go a little bit more about them. I give you more time to learn, as well as, like I said, the technical stuff. So Sins of Their Bones is very romantic-y. It leans very heavy on the rom part, but it was a great read. And In the Lines of Puppets is a Pinocchio retelling with delightful characters and same kind of emotional context of House of the Cerulean Sea. So if you liked House of the Cerulean Sea. I don't like Pinocchio, so
I have a question.
Give or take the book. Yes.
Is Jiminy Cricket in The Lives of Puppets?
In a weird way, I think he is.
I love Jiminy Cricket. I don't like Pinocchio, but I love Jiminy Cricket.
Don't read the book.
Okay. Thank you.
You don't like robots. Just, remember what you told me about robots.
I don't like robots.
Don't read the book. Don't read the book. It'll be a horror novel for CJ.
Okay, thank you for the warning. Trigger warning, robots.
Very welcome. I will tell you more later.
Okay. Maybe you don't need to. I think I've heard enough.
They're very human robots. That
AI, makes it so much better that it could just replace us and no one would even know. Great.
Well...
Moving on. What's your next book, woman?
Okay. So the 2 books I will be talking about are not very horror-esque, but I still kind of want to talk about them because we read everything. We're not just dark.
We're very diversified.
To the anger of some friends, I love Emily Henry.
Yeah.
I do. Okay, love is a strong
rom-coms.
word. Well, love is a strong word. I started with her as a YA author, so I've been with her for a very long time before she made the jump to rom-coms and romance when she was a YA author. But I finally got to read People We Meet on Vacation, and it's the first book I've read by her that isn't writers or in the book world for her protagonist. So that was nice. But the protagonist is a travel writer.
That's right.
So it's not a book world. I don't know why I keep reading her books. Her romance seems so realistic.
It does. She's a very good writer with that.
Yeah, and my favorite series right now I've been reading, which you have to read this book in Christmas, but the Love Light Farms, I believe is what it's called.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. Yes, Love Light Farms. You have to read that for Christmas this year.
Is that by her?
It is. No, it's by a different romance author.
Okay.
But that's the series I'm kind of obsessed with. But her romance it seems far-fetched out there. Emily Henry just keeps it so realistic and funny, and I don't know. I just keep coming back. I just keep reading her books. But I finally got to read People We Meet on Vacation, and I'm trying to read my notes. It was cute and sweet. It was still a little sexy, which I like, but not super sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cute read. If you're looking for something for the summer and you want to read on the beach and you haven't picked your chick lit yet. Also at my book sale there was a chick lit sign. They had a chicklet.
I mean, I call it that too, you know.
And no surprise. Do you want to guess what was there? No surprise.
I'm not thinking quickly today.
Something borrowed, that like whole lace.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So yes. The second book, I also read Mixed Signals. Oh, I wonder who that's part of. Anyway, that is the third book of the Love Light Farm series. It's by BJ Borson. I am obsessed with her as a writer. Yes, it's romance, but her writing is at a level of success. Beautiful artistry. I want to be her when I grow up. Like, her writing is aspirational. Really? And for being a romance, like, the way that she pulls the showing out, the way that she describes things, the internal monologue of the characters, it is just downright superb. Plus, her books are just so comforting and just so sweet, and they're literally practically all based around Love Light Farms. So the first one is set more during Christmas, and it's about the actual like Love Light Farms. But then you take side tangents with all the other owners and cast and blah 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 blah.
Oh, that's a cute idea.
But it's amazing. It's like Gilmore Girls, but better.
Oh, we know you love your Gilmore Girls.
But it has that vibe. It has a small town, and everyone is a character in the small town.
Nice.
There's phone trees. I could live in here forever. I'm so upset I'm caught up, because now I have to wait till the summer for the fourth book. But why I love it is that the writing, on top of like being an amazing romance book each time, the writing is just so good. Like,
okay. You've convinced me. I will read Love Light Farms at Christmas.
Yes, because Love Light Farms is at Christmas. Yes. Love Light Farms is at Christmas. The rest are not. They're whatever, but you have to read that one at Christmas. I highly recommend it. Which, I was at Target. Uh-oh. And I was so mad because there was a cover. You saw her cover, like you just looked up, right?
Yeah, I just saw it.
There is a cover that is almost identical to her style, where it's like the two people and then you have something covering their faces, right?
The mistletoe.
And it was
or the holly or something.
All her books for the series have the same thing, where it's like the two people hugging or something, and then you have like the holly, one of them's holding a cake in front of their face, flowers. Anyway. Yeah. Someone completely ripped off that cover, like to the T.
So many and covers now.
I thought it was her book. And then I saw that it was someone else, and I was really mad because I felt that was wrong. I'm not kidding, like to the T, identical. But they had an umbrella covering their head. And I was just like, this is wrong.
I feel like that's happening, and I guess this could be another podcast episode topic, just like how there's no real creativity in book covers anymore. Everything is the same font, the same style, depending on the genre. I guess we've just said it all, but it's just annoying because I love book covers are one of the prettiest things ever. I want it to be different. I want it to be excited.
I have so much I can say on this.
Oh, okay. So then we can bring that as a podcast episode.
Because I have
design, so
that, and I have a story. I have an author's insight and an issue for readers.
Say no more. We will do a whole episode.
We were struggling on our industry topics, and now we have two.
Breakthroughs. Are we writing these down because we may forget? Oh my God, there's balloons! How did you get balloons?
I just went like this.
Why do they think that means balloons? It's bunny ears. Or like peace or...
Oh my God, this is going to be a clip. Riverside, this is a professional podcast. We don't want kitschy stuff.
I mean, that's exciting news, and I look forward to that episode, which will bring a lot of light onto the serious issue in the publishing industry. Back to you, Kate.
Thank you. All right, that is all of my book recaps. So now we can get to digital recaps. And we keep skipping our ads, so whatever. I'm not in the mood.
We have balloons, so really, it just took the place of the ads.
Exactly. All right, CJ.
All right. So, TV shows. I'm only going to talk about one TV show, but it is fantastic. So, prepare yourselves, everybody.
Is it Antique Roadshow?
It is, shockingly, it is not Antique Roadshow, because you already know my love of that. It is Fallout on Amazon Prime.
I've seen this. I've considered it.
You should watch it. It is fantastic. Now, you may be very surprised that I watched and loved Fallout, because that is not my usual genre. I don't like anything post-apocalyptic. I don't like anything westerny. I don't like anything zombies. But this was
sci-fi.
Sci-fi. This was friggin' fantastic. So I am not a video gamer, but my husband is a huge video gamer, and he has played Fallout 1,000 times. I've been in the room with him. I've seen snippets. I've heard all the music, the jaunty 50s music or whatever. So when he told me that there was a show coming out about it, I was like, I'll watch with you. And we were both homesick like the other week or whatever, and we just put it on for something new. 10 minutes in, I was riveted. It was so good. It completely sucked me in. Those 10 minutes are filled with such tension and atmosphere, and the effects and the characters and the music with what's going on, the background. You just become so attached to these two characters right in the beginning that you really, really don't want them to be in a nuclear explosion. And then they are. And then it all goes to bits. But in case anybody is wondering what Fallout is for some reason, so the story starts with a 1960s, maybe 50s, 60s or 50s version of America that's very similar to what we're familiar with. A little bit more technology, a little less racism. And then nuclear bombs hit. And apparently they hit all over the world. And then suddenly, which was really good special effects, by the way, in my opinion. And then suddenly, it's 200 years later, and we see the survivors who made it to the underground vaults to wait out the radiation. And we see what life is like down there. But of course, they're going to have to go to the surface and see what's up there. And chaos ensues. And
I feel like I played Fallout for like 5 minutes when I was a kid.
My husband loves it. It's like one of his favorite games. I would just walk in the house and I'd hear like the music, and I'm like, oh, I know what's happening, you know? And the story is really good. There's lots of twists and turns. I don't know anything really about the video game other than there's like a nuclear fallout. But I was able to follow along with stuff. It's explained pretty well. And my husband, who obviously loves the game, thinks that they did an amazing version with the series. It stays true to the spirit of the game. And it's just fun. We binged the whole thing in 2 days. 8 episodes, 2 days.
Wow.
I already want the next season to come out whenever that is. I am there for it.
Wow. I might have to add this. I might have to add this to our, because I do a binge sesh with my partner about like once a month. We have like a PJ day, and we just kind of like Netflix and chill.
This is a great PJ day.
Yeah.
No, so Netflix and chill does not mean what you think it means.
I know.
I learned that the hard way.
So we did it with Stranger Things. We're doing it with Taken now. Blast in the Past, if anyone is curious. Taken.
You mean like the Liam Neeson?
No. I mean like you don't want to know. Anyway, we're binging that because I watched it in real time in 2002 when it came out, and I remember loving it even though I'm not really into those kinds of movies. I remember like it was on Sci-Fi, and they would show 3 hours of the show every night for like 5 days straight. And I remember like watching it in real time.
TV.
I loved it. So he's never seen it, and so I found out our library has every like disc, and so I was like, we're doing this. So, but after we finish that, I'm feeling like Fallout might be our next thing.
Dude, I was so excited to talk about this because I'm like, I feel really cool. Like, I'm usually not the one to watch the hip new series that's just come out that's a little bit edgy and about like post-apocalyptic crap.
Yeah.
And I'm the one talking about it first. So yeah.
Now I'm tempted to tell you to watch Foundation.
You've told me that before, and somebody else mentioned that to me too. There's only so many hours in a day, Kate. Only so many.
I know,
hours.
but Mr. Tart needs to watch it because I think he's going to be obsessed with it.
Is it
He
Apple?
is going to be obsessed. Yes.
We've discussed it. We've discussed it.
Yes, it is so good. I need to watch season 2. I have not started season 2 yet.
We're still working our way through Supernatural. Maybe after Supernatural, this will take its place because we'll need something after Supernatural so we don't start over from season 1 again.
I really want to give that show a try. It's like you and the A word. It scared the shit out of me. Probably because I've had too many weird spirit encounters in my house.
It gets a little less spooky, I guess, and more like heaven and hell warring with each other kind of thing. I
can handle it. But like the episode 1, come on.
I forget already. I mean, not much scares me.
Maybe I'll make my partner watch it with me. Let's see if but he also is the creepy.
You watch through fingers. That's what I do in all the torture scenes. I just watch like this, and then he tells me when I can look, and I look. That's how I watch Game of Thrones. So just make it to like season 3 or 4, and then you get to that whole angel demon crap,
his house I literally watched entirely like this. Due to you. Thanks a lot.
This is so much less intense than Hell House. Hell House was
Hell House or his house?
His house, sorry. His house was fucking intense. That was good.
Okay, do you want me to talk about my shows before we switch to like movies?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm finally happy to announce the announcement. I finished Buffy.
Yay!
I feel like that is an announcement because I took such a huge break off in the middle, which I'm so pissed about. I kind of want to rewatch like the first 4 seasons again because I'm just like, what the fuck happened? Yeah. And hot take, friends, I liked season 7.
She's the only person I know who liked season 7 with the exception of one episode.
It makes sense. It like fits the timeline. It fits her emotional growth. It's different. It's not the same old. I really liked it. I thought it was perfect.
I didn't like
and it was a great ending.
I didn't like that Willow moved on so quickly from love of her life. I was very team Willow and Tara. Like that was a hard loss for me to take. Especially after the musical episode. It's
hard to me. So I did kind of binging. I was watching it like every day. That was my main go-to show. So it's surprising that I didn't feel the same way. And I felt that there was a lot of time between the two like girls when I binged it. And you watched it in real life. And so it's very interesting that I feel that there was enough time. And I was okay with it. I did not like the second girl, though. I did not like her.
The second girl? Kennedy?
The one she did after Willow. Not Willow. Tara.
Yeah, I think Kennedy. I didn't like her.
I didn't like her, so I'll say that I didn't like her. But, I don't know, I just really liked it. I don't know how Josh Whedon is so good at making characters come alive, having a huge cast of characters, making it realistic, really knowing the psychology of human beings. Like, how does he do this? I need his talent.
Yeah.
It's just like the Duff Brothers. Like, how are you able to tackle people like that? I just sit here and I'm like, it's a person. Like,
now, after watching this, and season 7 specifically, can you understand why I can't get into anything Nathan Fillion? Because that was my first experience with him as an actor.
No, because my first experience wasn't that. So I just see him as the goofy person, and I didn't believe his evil character.
And he has terrified me for all eternity with his character on Buffy. He put out Xander's eye. You see everything. Let's fix that. Oh my god. So horrible.
Like, I watched him in Firefly. I watched him in Castle. I watched him in something else. It's like, I watched him play a bad guy. I'm very happy for him.
I'm sure he's a nice guy. I can't. It's ruined.
No, the one that struggled with me, so I've also been doing Angel, so because you're back and forth Buffy Angel, which the fact that season 4 or 3 of Angel's bad guy didn't beat up season 7 bad guy, the fact that they had these 2 world-destroying bad guys simultaneously in each season and had a little crossover that they didn't have the 2 bad guys kill each other. What the hell? That was a moment. That could have been the greatest moment in this universe live. And instead, they don't do shit about it.
A missed opportunity.
Yes, anyway.
Right in.
But the bad guy in that season, Angel, is... I forget her name. I should not forget. I am a Firefly, stand, but, forgot. She's in Firefly. So the bad guy...
in Firefly?
She's, his muscle. I don't remember now.
Kylie or Kaylee's?
No, Kaylee's the engine person. She's amazing. And then Jane.
Torres.
I'm going to go look this up. But Brilliant. That was... Yes.
Was she in Cleopatra 2525?
What is that? No, but she's from Suits. She's actually on Suits.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, Gina Torres. You were right. She plays Zoe.
Okay.
So seeing her as this evil person in Angel and knowing her from Firefly and Suits, I was just like, oh.
I didn't know she was in Angel. Interesting. Yes. I didn't make it that far. I stopped with Angel once Cordelia got knocked up with Angel's son's baby or something.
So she's the baby.
Really?
Yep.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Angel has definitely dipped a lot. I'm still trying to finish the last season because they extended one more season past Buffy, and I'm just like...
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Cool. No, it's not. Anyway, so I finished Buffy.
Yay.
And the other show that I also am now fully caught up with is Stranger Things. We binged it. We are fully caught up. You need to watch season 4, women.
Okay.
One of the plot lines does not need to have happened, but I'm not going to tell you which one. You'll know. We all know. We all know it didn't need... No. It's a whole plot line through the whole season, and it's boring. I was ready for them to get past those scenes so we could go back to the other stuff. It was pointless. I think we all know what I'm talking about, okay? Everyone else, okay? But Stranger Things, I am so glad I went back to that. I cannot believe that I was not part of that craze. It is so good. Like, get past season 1.
I'm surprised that you weren't part of it.
No, well, season 1 bored me. It was boring. But get past that. Every season has eclipsed the previous season. Like, season 4 might be my favorite now.
Really? Okay.
Really.
I still love season 1. I was okay on 2. I was on 3, which is why I didn't watch 4.
Oh, really? I loved 3. 3 was my favorite until I watched 4.
Yeah, I didn't get into 3.
Really? Okay, well maybe you won't like 4 then.
And like weird scientist, communist, whatever that was thing. I don't know. I can't get into that shit.
See, I watched it for the characters. The characters were amazing. I'm so bad at names, but the ice cream guy with the curly-haired young kid.
Yeah.
And he's always like, I'm always fucking babysitting you. Like, he's my favorite character in the entire series. I love him. I've loved him since season 1. I'm obsessed. He's amazing. But yeah. So I don't know if I like season 4 then. I felt that season 4 was spookier than all the other ones.
Yeah,
at least the
season 3
first
was not
half.
spooky to me.
The first half of the series is like the season is spooky. It gets a little less, but there's so much backstory explained about. Like, we find out a lot about the Upside Down. Like, a lot.
Finally.
Yes. And it's kind of really cool. And I love it. And I was just like, oh. So supposedly the Duff brothers actually wrote a 25-page, like, manifesto of this entire world and story for Netflix. It's like their Bible. And they have been going... They already knew everything. Of this. And so, yeah.
Okay.
So... And they're definitely the season 5. And they're recording it now. Filming it now. Because the way season 4 leaves, watch it so we can vent together.
Okay.
But yeah, it's much better. I loved it. Excellent characters again. There's a new character in season 4. I love him so much. Shout out to the punk emo kids of the 80s who started this all for us. But yeah, so those are the 2 shows I watched. Now. Yeah, pretty much. So those are the 2 shows I watched.
Okay.
So your turn. Passing it back to you, host.
Movies, I don't really have anything to talk about because I did watch one movie on Amazon Prime, but I didn't finish it. I also fell asleep during it. It wasn't very scary, and I couldn't be bothered to look up the name of it. So you're not missing anything. But this weekend, I am going to watch Late Night with the Devil with my scary movie buddy, and I am super excited because that looks really awesome.
Did it just come out?
I think it came out a few months ago. It's on Amazon. You can buy it on Amazon Prime or like rent it on Amazon Prime. It's about. I only saw the trailer once. I think it's about doing an exorcism on like a late night talk show or something. I think I actually just listened to a Scared to Death podcast episode about that. So I am very, very excited because it's supposed to be good.
Sounds like it would have made a really good book.
It may have been a book. Who knows? But I will report back next month.
Late Night with the Devil. I'm looking this up. You may continue with your news segment if you'd like.
Okay, thank you. So my news segment, which I actually have briefly touched upon before in a previous episode, is talking about podcasts that I recommend. So I have recently discovered the magazine Women Who Podcast, which supports and features women independent podcasters like us. And I was looking at a list of their featured podcasts from the past, and I found a lot of spooky-themed podcasts out there that I cannot wait to try. So as you know, I love Scared to Death podcast. I just mentioned it, and I listen to it, but it's probably an unhealthy amount of time. But I've started looking for some new podcasts that are spooky because I can never get enough of that stuff. And a few of them I found, I will give the names. There's one called Homespun Haints, True Ghost Stories, and it seems like quite a few of their stories revolve around the Ozarks, and that's a little different and intriguing. So I listened to a little bit of an episode today, and it was pretty good. Another one is called Fabled Collective, and this podcaster is from Savannah, which is super haunted, so I imagine there's going to be a ton of info there. And she gives like a little ghost story and then some historical background, and it's not done in a dramatic or scary way, like Scared to Death is very intense. It's actually kind of soothing with the music she has and the way she talks, so I feel like it's a nice thing to listen to when I want a scary story when I'm walking, but I need to calm down because I've had a long day. So I'm excited to listen to more of that. And then 2 others are Creepy Vibes Only, and then Keep It Weird. I just love the name of that. And I didn't find this on the Women Who podcast site, but I also know a spooky story podcast called Tales from the Creeped, which I love that title because it's fantastic. So those are some good spooky podcasts. And then in a complete antithesis to the spooky podcast, there's one that I love listening to called Nothing Much Happens. And these are soothing, cozy stories designed to help you fall asleep. Because I have some form of insomnia. I don't have trouble falling asleep, but I have trouble staying asleep and going back to sleep once I have woken up. I put this podcast on every time I wake up or when I go to bed. And after a few weeks of the brain training, as the podcaster calls it, I just, boom, I'm out. It's so nice and soothing. So if you have trouble sleeping, listen to Nothing Much Happens. It's really cute. If you like animals and cozy things and books and coming home after a long day and getting on, under a blanket on the couch, this is a good podcast for you to listen to.
Poor storyteller. Does anyone know how any of the stories end?
So actually, people wrote in to her about that, and she created another podcast called Stories from the Village of Nothing Much. And they are daytime versions, not read in her, quote, sleepy voice. And it's the same story, so you can listen to it. And it has some, sound effects. Like, if you're in a coffee shop, you hear, the coffee shop chatter in the background. So you can actually listen to how the story ends. There are so many stories where I have no idea what happens. Like, my husband and I will listen to them while we're falling asleep. And he'll be like, did you hear what happened to Crumb the dog? And I'm like, I was asleep. But the time she opened the door, I have no idea what happened. He's like, wait till you get to Crumb. I'm like, but I don't know when. I want to be able to sleep. It's a real conundrum.
I love this. Oh my gosh.
It's so good. It's so good. It's what inspired me to do my cozy Christmas stories. So, yeah.
And then we'll have to record them so you can also make them audio.
I would like this woman who runs the podcast the Nothing Much Happens podcast to read my stories because her voice is just so soothing. That's true collaboration.
Submit. Yeah.
Tag her. I have to write it first. Okay.
Yeah. Here's your inspiration. You needed inspiration to write again.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so those are my podcasts.
I have no podcast to add because I just listen to the same daily podcast forever and ever.
Podcast? I don't blame you. We're fabulous.
I wish we were not daily. I actually don't listen to us because editing is enough. I get one listen in me. You're the one that has to give us the spike in listens because
I listen to everyone except the one that I hated, the Romanticy one. I have not listened to that one.
I had to.
I have not.
So, but I just listen to the toast every day.
Yeah.
And that's not a recommendation. Well, I do have 2 movies to talk about outside of Irish Wish. Don't watch it. I watched Damsel, which I feel like is very fitting for the podcast. I watched Damsel, which has Millie Bobby Brown in it. I have a very Millie Bobby Brown theme going here. I did not like it.
That's unfortunate.
I did not like it. It spends most of the movie in the cave. And I watched a spooky movie about 2 girls getting trapped in a cave with the devil or something. And that was enough for me. And I also was extremely triggered by the movie.
Triggered how?
I think it had something to do with the fact that we all know there's a dragon in it. I'm pretty sure.
I didn't, but now I do. That's okay.
But it's this idea of the dragon has a reason to kill and to live. She has a reason to kill and to live. We're all misunderstanding each other. We're all causing horrible pain to each other. I don't know.
The world today.
I was triggered. I hated it. I didn't like it. I really didn't. And I tried. And I know a lot of my friends liked it. And I just was like... There was also something weird about the entire filming. Because we know we have this whole fantasy world in this movie. But the world felt so flat and paper thin. That I was just... Okay. If anyone's seen the Cat in the Hat movie... The live action movie that was made... There's something off about that movie. And I feel that we as a society knew that, but we couldn't figure it out what it was. Mm-hmm. And that's how I feel about Damsel.
Is it the fact of how the Cat in the Hat looks? Because that was kind of creepy. Like the Cats musical where the cat people look a little bit weird. Like that kind of off? Or in terms of content?
Content, something. The entire world would see those previews and be like, something is wrong with this movie. But we never voiced what it was. And... I don't know. It's the same with Damsel for me.
Okay.
I also watched the movie Argylle, which is about a writer who gets kidnapped because she writes spy novels, and she is kidnapped because her novels are too close to what's really happening, and they're like, we need to know why. You're predicting the future. I did end up stopping that movie on movie night, and we switched to something else, but I came back to it later to finish it because I was just like, why not? Let's just finish it. It was okay. It was way too CGI'd. It felt like there was a good twist in it, so I appreciated that. But it was okay. I don't recommend it. It's on Apple Plus, but I don't really recommend it at all. Okay. So, not really, not any good movies to recommend for either one of us. It's been a dry spell. I'm starting to feel the writer's strike.
I mean, I never was a huge movie fan. I used to be when I was younger. I haven't gone to a lot of movies. I was supposed to go see Godzilla, the new Godzilla movie. I love monster movies. Love them. I'm not a Godzilla. The Meg. Oh my god, fantastic. Love the Meg. So we were going to see that, but then one of us felt sick, so we didn't go. I love that you can so easily cancel movie tickets and get a refund these days. It used to be so much more of a hassle, and now you just go boop, and you have your refund, and it's done. It's so nice. I want to see Abigail in theaters, but again, only so many hours in the day.
I'm going to have to wait because my partner will not take me to go see that movie. I don't even know if he's going to see that movie. I need to know gore factor because
I'll
he
does.
See it with you. I wish.
I'll fly to Florida to see the movie with you.
Please. Oh my god, if we were rich enough to do that. But tell me the gore factor, because like if there's any ocular trauma, I mean, fingers and eyes, I think that's fine, but I mean like ripping eyeballs.
I won't know because I won't be looking.
But just tell me the gore level, because he really struggles with just body harm.
Okay.
Fresh. Did you ever watch Fresh?
No.
Woman!
Woman!
It's on Hulu. It is. I watched it at the Sundance, like, as it was premiering.
You're referring to this in conjunction with the talk about too much gore, so I'm a little apprehensive.
No. He couldn't watch it, but that's for a different reason. It is amazing. I've watched it twice. It is so good. Listeners, Fresh on Hulu. The movie is amazing. Amazing for a horror movie. And I highly, highly recommend it.
Is it from 2022?
Yes.
I
watched it at Sundance because I used to do Sundance back when I had a production company before COVID shut us down.
Modern dating are seen through the eyes of a young woman who is battling to survive her new boyfriend's unusual appetites. Does he eat her eyes?
No. Okay. You're safe with eyes. Okay. But yes, you need. It's so good, and it's on Hulu for free. So. It is so good. I would watch it a third time.
Wow.
It is amazing.
It says, how scary is the movie Fresh? And it says in big caps, do not let your kids see this.
No, don't let the kids, but it's not scary. You are not going to be... Woman, who's giving this recommendation to you?
Now I really want to know why.
It's not that kind of... Is
there ocular trauma?
No.
Okay.
I don't do ocular trauma either.
Okay, I will try to remember to watch it.
It is so good.
Still try.
Okay, I'm gonna email you.
You do that. I look forward to your email.
All right, friends. I think that is a long enough podcast for everyone.
I think we got to stand up and get this over.
I know. We gave up on hitting the 30-minute mark. We were trying, friends, but we just have too much good stuff to talk about.
Just but chatting.
Don't forget, May's book is The Woods Are Black. I have the title like mess up in my head, so I have to double check it every time. I don't know why it's backwards. It's like stuck in my head as like The Dark Woods or something. But it's The Woods Are Black by Lee Mandello. Anyway, bookshop links below. I think I've told you guys enough about that. But thank you for watching us on YouTube. Is this so exciting? She said 1 episode a month.
I have changed my mind, and I'm just going forward and being brave.
We are so happy for her. We are loving this, and I'm loving it because marketing.
Yay, marketing.
But yeah, so if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. We're also a podcast on Spotify, Apple, and iTunes. So please follow, listen, subscribe, comment, tell us how amazing and beautiful we are and how you love to see our faces. Give us positive feedback, so we'll keep doing all of this. But
tell me how much you like my cat ear headphones because they're fabulous and I know it.
They are. I'm a little jealous because mine are like hiding in. Like you can't even tell.
You can definitely tell I'm wearing headphones.
But they're so cute. You're supposed to. All right, friends. Till next time. Oh, wait.
What?
Nope.
What?
Next podcast, I'll announce it. We're good. Bye.
Never mind. Goodbye, everybody.
No. I'm sorry for listeners.
Way to cause drama.
I am causing massive drama.
I'm not even sure what you're supposed to be waiting about. So I
do. We are going to have a 2-week break between this episode and the next episode because CJ is fucking everything up. But
I am.
So the thing is, we have an extra Thursday in the month, so instead of taking it between the 3rd and 4th episode, we're taking it between the 2nd and 3rd. So we're still here. Do not miss us. We will be back.
We will.
On in 2 weeks. That's what I need to tell everyone. So we're here. All right. Bye.
Bye.